distinguished Mr. Amal Mohan, founder and CEO of Fieldmaster.ai, passionate computer science engineer from National Institute of Technology, Calicut, with an MBA. Began his career managing supply chain operations in large enterprises. A decade ago, he turned entrepreneur as a contractor, where he witnessed chaos and he built software of his own to solve that. With at a global platform is now helping innovative businesses automate their operations. Clients such as Nama, Onik, more and more. In 2024, CEO Insights Asia recognized Amal as one of the top 10 CEO in Oman. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very beautiful honor to welcome him on stage with a big round of applause.
So, my title of the talk is The Faster We Innovate Today, the Sooner We Build Tomorrow. And yes, I'm going to talk about AI because I'm a software guy. My talk is in basically three parts. First part is AI. And I'm going to start by asking a small question. Ready? Please be honest. Are you worried about AI? Nobody? Come on, I don't believe this. Okay. Sir, tell me, why are you worried about AI? Can you tell me any reasons? Yes, sir.
Yeah, Amal, actually, what worries me about AI is, like, I watched a lot of Terminator movies. So you can say that what can happen is we develop AI into such a extent that after a few years they become self-aware, and they could take over. There are many things which, like Terminator, Universal Soldier. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, this is actually, I would say that you're thinking way ahead, and it's really appreciated. As a computer science guy, I cannot say that that is beyond the realm of possibility. So definitely, it may be possible, but I'll come to that and how we, kind of barricade ourselves against that. But I think the more immediate concern that most people have is, will I lose my job, right? If AI is working in my company, am I going to lose my job? How many of you have this concern? Okay, even a doctor is raising her hand. So I don't know if any of you will go to an AI doctor in the future. I don't know. Okay, anyway, let's see. Can you tell me what these images represent? Anybody who tells me what these images represent will get free coffee. Exactly. Free coffee, you can find it outside, okay? Okay, the first image is a lamp lighter, okay? And it used to be a big profession. Every city had a small army of these guys who used to come and light the lamps before the advent of electricity, all right? The second image is how drawings used to be made for construction of buildings. And every project used to take hundreds, maybe thousands of these guys. And this is before CAD, obviously. And the third image shows switchboard operators, all right? Again, a very big, important profession. What's common about all of these is that all of these have been wiped out by new technology. First by electricity, second by computer-aided drawing, and third by automated telecommunications. Does it mean that people are not working today, jobs have decreased? No. On the contrary, if you see this chart, the number of jobs or the number of employees in the world has only gone up over the past 100 years. And there have been small dips in between where there have been recessions, but if you see the general trend, nobody can deny that it has gone on increasing. The bottom line here, the takeaway is that technology eliminates tasks, but overall work never decreases. the quantum of work keeps on increasing. And I'll tell you why this happens. Like electricity, computers, and the internet. These are all major steps that happened in the innovation of human species, all right, the progress of humans. AI is the next big step, and it's already here. And I'm going to tell you, especially you, okay, why you should not be afraid, okay, why we should embrace this, and how it's going to help us. Any idea what these are? Okay, I'll explain to you. The first image is depicting, by the way, these are all generated by AI. So the first image is about a connected world, a small connected world which enables viruses to spread very quickly, okay? And this is going to be one of the challenges of the future, which is already, we have faced one challenge 5 years back, and most probably it's going to come up again in the near future. Second image is how AI thinks that our cities are going to look like once the sea levels rise because of climate change. The third image here is the lack of clean water and breathable air as how AI sees it. The fourth image is exhaustion of Earth's limited resources. These are all challenges that we face today. And my point to you is not that these are the only challenges. These are the challenges that we can think of today. But there are so many challenges that are going to come up that we cannot even fathom, right? We cannot even appreciate what those challenges are. How many of you in construction? Tell me, are you mentally prepared to have a mining camp set up on an asteroid in the future? Okay. So scientists are already thinking about this. They're already talking about this, how to mine asteroids for resources, all right? So I wouldn't say this is, again, beyond the realm of possibility. People are talking about building dikes to keep away the sea levels to protect our cities. People are talking about nanobiotechnology to prevent viruses and other diseases from spreading. And people are thinking about new technologies to make our air and water good again. So if we are to reach from, let's say, managing a project in Oman today to mining resources on an asteroid tomorrow, we are going to need all the help that we can get, AI included, all right? We have to take into account all of the technologies that are available today to us and utilize all of that in order to build our future for a secure future. From getting from here to there, and I'm going to read this out because it's important, we have to become masters of innovation, agility, and data-driven operations right now, if we are to get from here to there. The path to solving the grand challenges of the future begins by perfecting how we operate in our businesses today. And I know what you guys must be thinking. You know, Amal has come on stage and he's talking about a lot of far-fetched ideas that I need not be concerned with at the moment. So before I proceed further in the presentation, I want to give you all a taste of what AI can do today for you, all right? And this AI, there are many flavors of AI. There's machine learning, which has been with us for decades. There's been expert systems. But I'm going to particularly talk about LLM, large language models, which all of you know as ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, all of that, because this is the latest flavor of AI to hit the market. How can LLMs add value to your business today? Okay, and these are all technologies. I'm going to give you a few examples. These are all technologies that you can implement today. One example is expert fault diagnosis. Let's say you are in the repair industry. You are repairing, I don't know, transformers, heavy equipment, or any other complex equipment that all of these companies may have. The field inspection data that the field user enters into the mobile application can be directly taken up by an LLM, and the LLM can guide him to complete the repair and instantly find solutions from manuals that are the size of an encyclopedia and help him. Right now, yes, there are error codes, and you can search for the error code and find the step to solving them. But what happens if you do step one and then you don't get the result? Say you do step one and then the product doesn't respond to something. When it's an LLM, you can ask, my product is doing this, it's still showing the yellow blinking light, what do I do? So it can help you to solve that problem, all right? So this is one example. Second example, how many of you do tendering? Tendering? Yeah, it's one of the most time-taking tasks of today. LLMs can help you to generate this bid for your tenders in a very easy fashion. You basically only have to upload the tender into your system, and the bid document is generated automatically because the software knows about your product and your service specs. So it generates the bid as per the tender requirement. And it does not mean that the tender is going to be filled, even the pricing by the software. Huh? This is, pricing is, of course, under your control, and you can fill it in. And real-time operational chatbots. How many times have you wanted some information and you had to ask a subordinate, please tell me what is this, please tell me the data? No, you ask the LLM, which has the real-time operational data, questions like, how many engineers are on site right now? And the chatbot will answer. Or what percentage of SLAs were met last month by the South Batina team? These kinds of questions, whereas you would have to fetch it out from a dashboard or ask your subordinates to get this data, and you will get it maybe the next day if you're lucky, you can get it instantly. Another example is about site clock-ins, safety management, PP adherence, permit to work. So why I'm giving you all these examples is just to root this talk that I'm not talking about something very far-fetched. I'm talking about something that's available to us today. This is about LLMs. And that brings me to the bottleneck of today's situation, okay? Let's say we want to implement AI in our companies. Let's say we want to implement LLMs, and let's say we want to start using it. How can you start using it? Because if AI is the engine, software is the vehicle, okay? What this means is, if you want a chatbot to respond to you that how many people are on site right now, unless you have the software to manage your teams or to basically supervise your teams with a process and a software from where that AI will fetch the data for you. And unless you have all your data and your processes set in a digitized fashion, your AI will not be able to help you. So that's why we at Fieldmaster.ai, we have what is known as a digitization staircase. It's a step-by-step process. It's not a hard and fast process, but this is a philosophy where if you are at manual processes, you are at step 0. You basically first digitize your primary process, and then you go to your partial back office digitization. You extensively digitize your system, and then you move on to intelligence and automation, and finally, you develop a perpetually adaptive system or a dynamic system, which I will come to later in this talk. The shocking statistic right now is that after 30 years of digital transformation, 80% of companies are still running their operations on Excel, emails, and WhatsApp. Sounds familiar? Anybody? Come on. Yeah? Okay. So this is, basically some surveys that we keep on doing. We keep asking companies how many, what percentage of your processes are automated, and even between enterprises or small and medium businesses, 80% of them say that, no, we don't have our processes digitized or automated. So why is the adoption level so low? Just have a look at these two images, okay? Can you notice what's on the left? On the left, you can see, there's a very familiar side, man and his girlfriend sitting on the table, and both of them are looking at the mobile. Familiar? Okay. So what I'm trying to illustrate here is mobile devices, within 2 years or 3 years of coming into the market, it had near ubiquitous adoption. Everybody in the world has a mobile device, pretty much. On the right side, if I walk into an office today, 8 out of 10 of these offices look like this. Okay, still files and still all of these processes, most of the processes manual. So why so much of difference? Why mobiles got adopted in 5 years, less than 5 years, and why 30 years, even after 30 years, why offices are looking like this, why there is no automation? Can you tell me why? Yeah, so one main reason is that a mobile device is basically, it has a camera, it has got speakers, it's got applications. It's a one-size-fits-all solution, right? Everybody has the same uses of a mobile. Somebody may use it for music more, somebody may use it for a camera more, but at the end of the day, the solution is the same for every single person. But for a company, that is not possible at all, because every company is completely unique. Every company has to be unique, because if you're doing the same business as everybody else in the same exact way, then why should anybody choose you? Right? So, being a unique company and having unique processes is your greatest strength, but it's also your greatest challenge. And why is this a great challenge? Is because the same adaptability that you need to survive, and remember, I'm talking about going from managing a project in Oman to mining an asteroid. If you need to get from here to there, you need to adapt your processes, okay? You need to basically ensure that you change. Change is the only constant. You need to adapt, improve, and make your systems efficient. And that adaptability poses another challenge, because any software you implement today is going to get outdated maybe within a few months. This graph shows the software to process fit over time. Say you implement a beautiful, fantastic software today. You custom develop it and deploy it, and all your users are completely happy. The need of the market demands that you adapt your processes, all right? At the beginning, your software fits very well to your processes. As time goes on, the fit reduces, and there comes a pain point threshold where your software is doing less for you than it is helping you. Like, it's doing more harm than good. So at this stage, what happens is all of these gaps, which we call digitization gaps, are being filled by manual processes, all right? I have seen countless scenarios where software is implemented in companies, and some software don't talk to each other, or the processes change, so now somebody has to download something from here, upload it there, or take some Excel file and then make some pivot table and give it to somebody. These are all examples, real-life examples that I've seen in the market. And this is exactly what that captures. So after a certain point, you're running your software basically, you're running your operations basically without any software or any automation. And this is like flying a plane without autopilot. Is it possible? Yes, of course it's possible. You can fly a plane without autopilot, but it's going to be very exhausting, all right? You cannot fly more than one plane in a week if you do that. And so what I come to tell you here is the existing solutions for software in the market. There are three basic, like if you want to look at the options, there are three basic options. One is software as a service, which is you take your credit card and you swipe it on like some website and you get the software installed. The problem is it's rigid and inflexible for the very reason that it's quickly available, because it's not tailored to your needs. Second is a custom development. Again, you get a very tailored and very good system, but it's a static system at the end of the day. It's slow, it's costly, it's risky. And the third option you have is the enterprise platforms, which are heavy, complex, and difficult. So what's the way forward? What do we do? And I'm here to tell you that, look, the way forward is not a product, okay? I know you were thinking, okay, I will say this is Fieldmaster.ai, let's use Fieldmaster.ai. It's more than choosing a product, it's an approach. It's a way of thinking, all right? Compare constructing a skyscraper with planting a tree. For constructing a skyscraper, you need to do first months and months of planning, and then you go to the development, and then you have a development phase, and then you build it, and then it's there forever, right? You cannot change it. Whereas when you plant a seed, you basically nurture it, you can trim it, you can make it grow the way you want, the shape you want, and this is going to be the future of software. Why? Because what we're talking about is dynamic systems. No longer are we going to be basically forced to choose static systems that don't change with your operations or your processes. There are going to be dynamic systems that will adapt to whatever processes you choose to follow and whatever adaptability that you want to implement in your organization to stay ahead of competition, to meet the future challenges, all right? So I'm just going to quickly tell you, illustrate the traditional approach and the dynamic approach. In the traditional approach of software development, you have a requirement phase where you gather requirements. And ladies and gentlemen, I actually started my career in utilities. 2015, I started as a contractor. And I'm very well versed with the utilities operations, okay, for more than 10 years now. But even today, if you ask me to give me the requirements of utility field service management software, and you give me 1 week, I cannot confidently say that after 1 week, I'll give you all the requirements. Because it's not possible. Because for one thing, the processes are changing every day. And the second thing, nobody can basically remember. And one of the major things that happens in today's software development is you go in with a requirement phase, and they start the development, and then you say, oh, sorry, I had this additional requirement, so can you include that? So again, this is the standard system that we see everywhere happening in the industry today. So depending, of course, on the size of your organization, on the complexity of your processes, 9 to 12 months is what it takes from requirement gathering to the launch. What is different in a dynamic approach? In a dynamic approach, you launch immediately, okay? You launch immediately, and you go on to iteration 1, iteration 2, iteration 3, and within 3 to 6 months, your entire process is sorted. What I'm trying to say here is, by the time the requirement phase gathering in traditional approach is done, you're already live with the system in your dynamic systems approach. How it works is you identify the core processes, you implement 20 to 50% of your requirements. Okay, who has heard of the Pareto principle? Nobody? Pareto principle, the 80-20 principle, anybody heard of it? So it's basically an Italian economist by the name of Vilfredo Pareto. He said 20% of your causes make 80% of your effects. So what this boils down to is, in each and every one of your organizations, in your daily work, you have a lot of headaches, okay? Don't try to solve all of them at one time. You focus on 20% of your processes or your operations, which are core, and that will solve 80% of your headaches. This is in short. And this I have seen over the past 10 years implementing solutions for various companies. I have seen this to be true. So the approach is, you implement the first 20%, you get the feedback, you iterate, you expand. And this is what is meant by a dynamic system. And look, how does it work? Coding is not going to be a bottleneck in the future. I know every one of you, every software engineer in the world right now is scared that will I have my job because Claude AI is, coding better than I am. GPT-5 is out. And these are LLMs. Okay, I'm not even coming to AGI, which scientists are trying to break and crack open right now. AGI is artificial general intelligence, which is, basically how a human thinks. They're trying to make a computer think like that. I'm not even getting into all that. In the current scenario, coding is not going to be a bottleneck. All that you need is a robust framework for the code to live in and run on. Essentially, the framework has to cover the entirety of your organization so that data can be captured from various different points, and rapid deployment and adaptability to ensure this. Okay? So the mantra is, you start small, win fast, and evolve continuously. If there's one takeaway from what I've said today, I just wanted to be one slide. So that's the reason I did not put too many things or split this point into too many slides, because this is going to be the future of software. I do not see that 5 years into the future there's going to be any more static systems, custom development. You do the development, and then you have a software which does not adapt to your processes. So, like I said in the beginning, I wanted to keep it very light. I wanted to keep it very non-technical. The point I'm trying to make is there's a dynamic future or a legacy path. And my urge to each one of you is that I want you to innovate in your space wherever you are right now. And you have a lot of processes that could do with probably some form of automation, some form of AI. I have seen many people in many positions who are scared to take that step, thinking that it's going to harm their jobs or whatever. I implore you to not think about that, because the future challenges are coming very fast at us, and we need to adapt to meet those challenges. Start today, build dynamically, and solve what matters. Solve real problems. Use these tools to tackle the challenges that truly matter for your business, your country, our world. This is KEF, Kerala Engineers Forum. We are all engineers. If there's anyone who can build the future, it's us. All right? And I think we should take it upon ourselves to bring about this future that we want. Thank you so much. My name is Amal Mohan. Please add me on LinkedIn, and my email is here, so you can drop me an email anytime. And coming to the Terminator question, yes, it's possible. Okay, I'll give you one example. You see, when there were horses instead of cars, people used to walk on the roads because horses used to be slow, right? And suddenly when the cars came on the roads, the cars started going too fast and people started dying, right? So what did we do? There were too many accidents, too many pedestrians got killed. So what did we do? We built traffic signals. We built the zebra crossings. We built the sidewalks. So the point I'm trying to make is we built systems to prevent the cars from killing people on the roads. So I feel like if there are autonomous AI robots, I will not say that 100%, they are going to be 100% safe. No, nobody can say that. Maybe they will not be 100% safe, but we are always going to make systems to prevent that. And once we identify a flaw, we fix that, and we kind of, prevent that from happening again. That's going to be the approach. Thank you so much.
Hope this was really a wonderful session, isn't it? Yes? And let me please request May's President, Mr. Benny, to please kindly join us on stage to deliver the memento to the one and only Mr. Amal Mohan. Yes.